are on Christmas Day, and they will be in our Michigan Avenue apartment. The most important part of this segment is George makes his debut. He is still, as you will see in a few minutes, still in what I kind of call the tadpole stage of babyhood. This is Christmas morning, and the children are opening their presents.
Lots of excitement.
Well, we have lots of connections with Evanston. Strangely, we lived there the shortest time of any place we lived since our marriage.
Yeah, both sides of our family have strong connections with Evanston and Northwestern. Your father, Nancy, went to Northwestern, as did my own father. He went there for undergraduate and medical school, and your dad went to Northwestern Law School, too, didn't he?
Right. Now, that would have been the downtown campus, of course.
Yeah.
And I believed, as my understanding is, he went directly from basically a high school program into the law school. I think they had some regulation that if you passed a particular test, you could go into the law school.
And then your brother went to undergraduate at Northwestern, where he belonged to the Shield Club, as I did when I went there. We were there, we had overlapping times when we were there, but we were there approximately the same time.
Yes, the Shield Club, for those who maybe wouldn't know, is the Catholic club on the university campus, and my mother was very active in the Mothers Club there. And indirectly, that's how we met Chuck.
Yeah, that's it.
Through Father McGillicuddy, who was the, what would you call him, the chaplain?
Father McGillicuddy, Cornelius J. McGillicuddy.
And when you went back,
here's George.
Making his debut.
Yeah, first time on Flex. Welcome, George.
And one of the first things you're going to do is cause mischief. You're going to crawl on a dress of Mary Ann's.
Get her very excited and aggravated.
Yes. Right now, though, she's happy opening up a sock, not realizing what terrible happening is going to occur very shortly.
Yes. But getting back to Northwestern, as I think I mentioned before, my cousin Tim Lowry went there, and he played football in the 20s. He made All-American. He was the center for the team. So we have a lot of antecedents at Northwestern, a lot of tradition, and John went there. Both John and I belonged to the same ROTC, Naval ROTC unit, and got our commissions from there. I in 1950 and John in 1993. It was quite a thrill for your mother and I to go there for the graduation, and for me to see the old unit.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. We're talking about John in this segment, and gosh, he wasn't born for many a year after that, and yet he spent the most time of all in Evanston, what with his time at Northwestern, and then staying on working for the NROTC unit. And what did they call it, being stashed? While he was waiting for pilot school?
He was stashed, but he was waiting there to go to pilot school.
Right, so he spent a lot of time in Evanston.
Yes. And
by the way, a name still popular is Carter's for little children in their wear, and all our children had Carter's PJs on here, including little George, who is, as you can see, learning how to crawl. Mary Ann and Charlie are into kind of like a little grab bag of goodies that your parents gave them. All sorts of miscellaneous little things, but all sorts of intriguing, fun things. I think they were in those big stockings that you just saw a few minutes ago.
and Charlie's very serious.
But Charlie always wanted to get to the bottom of it and explore it all.
Yeah.
Oh, I think they're into old lifesavers. Here we go, George. Oh, you're right on Mary Ann's brand new dress. Beautiful pink hand-smocked dress that she had gotten. And in a minute, Mary Ann is going to be aware. There she is. You can see scolding you out pretty well there.
Yeah, on the soundtrack, if we ever get that operation, you can hear the screams. Oh yes, and incidentally, I may have mentioned it before, but my father was born in Evanston at the home on Library Place, 627, right near the Sheridan Road on the lakefront. And his family lived there for years. And later on, he rented the place for a year or two, and we all lived there. I can still remember Library Place. They lived in a university environment there, knew many of the old-time professors, Professor Scott, and right next door was Professor George Holgate. I can still remember that name. His daughter was named Eleanor, and she married Owen Latimer, who became famous back in the 50s during the investigations into communist infiltration.
Other Evanston connections, of course, we have our St. Francis Hospital, with your father being a head surgeon there.
Yes, and Dad had his lifelong office space at 708 Church Street. He was very well known. He belonged to the Rotary Club, and of course Dad was internationally famous for his expert handling of medical matters in the field of proctology. They came to him from all over for treatment and for operations, all over the world.
Mary Ann and Charlie and George were all born in St. Francis, and besides your dad, your Aunt Polly was on the staff there.
Yes.
Known as Dr. Mary Pope.
Mary Howe Pope. She and Dad and Dr. Schacht, whom we called Uncle Freddie, his last name is spelled S-C-H-A-C-H-T, they all officed together there.
Okay, this is later in Christmas Day, and there, of course, Dad is holding George.
Yes, John was the only one who wasn't born at St. Francis. He was born in Jacksonville, Florida, at the Navy Hospital in 1971.
There's
Uncle Bob.
right. And Mary Ann and Charlie have their 1964 Christmas outfits on. Once again, favoring the color red and white.
I mean 63.
Yeah, 63. We'd seen earlier ones in the 62. And Georgie, being all about 8 months, was a little bit too old to get dressed up in a Christmas outfit, so he's still in his PJs. There's poor Chuck. He didn't get in. He didn't get him any of his pictures.
Yeah, I finally made the scene.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're the photographer of complicated.
Proud Papa.
Yeah.